wondrous smile, and I am speechless. And my senses are filled by the sound of your beautiful song, beginningless and endless. I bow deeply to you. Please be seated. Welcome, everybody, to this truly romantic setting here in La Baronia. We have come together in this place to celebrate the union of Kristen and Xavier. I will start by thanking all of you, family and friends, for making the journey from far and wide to be here to take part in their unique moment. Xavier and Kristen have chosen you, the people who are the most special and important to them, to witness and celebrate the start of their married life together. They are both appreciative and grateful that you have made the effort to be here. Before we begin with the ceremony, I would like to take a few moments to talk to you about Kristen and Xavier's journey together. 8 years later, and here we are today. How did we get here? Picture this. Down by Jersey Shore, on Belmar Beach, it's pretty early in the morning. As some of you know, it's the place to be to nurse last night's hangover with brunch and then continue on partying. Dancing and drinking starts at 11 a.m. down there, I hear. They were there independently of each other. Him with friends, her flying solo. Kristen spotted him in Surf Taco Shop. She immediately thought, this guy's cute. I'm going to pick him up. And went and stood right next to him in the queue. Xavier was completely oblivious to what was going on. I think he was hungry. You've been here before, she said, the first move made. No, the answer. I come here all the time. I can help you with what's good. If you want, I can order if you like. Oh, great. You've been here before. Thank you so much for the recommendations. Then she ordered for him. What a nice woman, he thought. Oblivious, he went and sat down next to his friends, and without hesitation, she followed and sat herself down right next to him on the table. One thing led to another. Kristen asked for his Instagram. She messaged him. She messaged him her phone number. And there was their beginning. It turns out, after a couple of dates, that a lot of their friends already knew each other. They had all gone to university at the same time. The dating continued. Most of it was, my friends are doing this or that, you should come by. And they did. And they always met somewhere in the middle of where they lived. Then Xavier would find himself driving down to her town, which is about an hour and change away. He'd spend all evening there to midnight, or even 1 in the morning. And then he'd drive back, sleep, be at the train station at 5 a.m. in the morning, ready to go to work. You see, it was so easy spending time together. Time would fly by. It was also a little scary for Xavier, as Kristen's father was the chief of police. Big Italian dude. Apparently like a teddy bear. But that wasn't apparent to Xavier at the time. Respect tinged with fear was the name of the day. They moved in with each other 9 months later in Astoria, Queens. It just felt like the right thing to do. They felt connected, lovers, best friends. In talking it through, that's what they wanted to do. It was right. To give you a little more context, When they met, Xavier's career was just taking off, and Kirsten was in the process of applying for schools, which turned into both of them touring and visiting schools together. 3 or 4 years passed, and Kirsten going to school, then internship, then qualified, and then starting to work at her first counselling gig in the city. After this, they left Queens and moved back to Jersey. 4 years now, I believe. They love it. Building a life in this new apartment together. It feels all grown up. Their first home. They designed it together, making this space their family home as their kids came along not too long after. Is it Toddy and Roki? They're 2 Siamese cats. That's when they started talking about marriage. Things had shifted a gear in seriousness. All their friends were convinced they were meant for each other. They were the longest couple of their peer group, a great example of a healthy relationship. Which brings me on to their engagement and Xavier's proposal. In talking about marriage, Kirsten wanted a beautiful bespoke engagement ring. So Xavier was doing all the background work on that. She had no idea when. He had no idea when. Neither of them had any idea when. Let me buy the ring and I'll figure it out, was Xavier's thinking. He had the ring made, bought it, and hid it in the apartment for 6 months as he pondered what to do. It was February last year. They were going to Switzerland, snowboarding in the Alps with friends. One of their many passions, traveling with friends. Xavier took the ring with him. The only sure detail to his plan, he was going to propose. The rest, well, he'd see. They flew to Milan on their way to Switzerland in Italy. They explored the city, had a wonderful time, then caught the train up to Switzerland. There were 12 of them. I believe most are here today. So connected and adult. There were a lot of couples on this trip. Kristen and Xavier had a phenomenal time. It was the best trip of their lives. The most beautiful vacation of all time. To set the scene, Kristen doesn't really do snowboarding. Everybody else is good at it, and she pretty much sucks. And doesn't mind either. But she loves writing. She's been writing a fantasy series for a few years now. It is her habit to have a me day on every vacation, taking care of her own mental health, a day of nurture, spa, a day of writing, with no one talking to her until at least 6 p.m. She chose Thursday, writing whilst looking at the Matterhorn for hours. On that day, Xavier and friends went on an adventure in the morning, skiing into Italy from Switzerland. On their way back, they stopped for a drink. Xavier breaks it to everybody. By the way, guys, I'm not sure where yet, but I'm proposing this evening. They all laughed. They didn't believe him. They thought he was joking. And then the shock set in. No one knew. Where are you going to do it? I'm planning it right now. He went back to the hotel buzzing. He came across the perfect spot on Instagram to where to spring this surprise. The Matterhorn in the twilight hour. The most gorgeous shot, but difficult to get the timing right. You see, twilight, it's a very specific moment. He let her know they were going out to eat. It is fortunate, as most of you know, Kristen, given any chance, will dress up with hair and makeup. How convenient for Xavier. They were happy as can be, him singing in the shower and her beaming from having written some beautiful chapters. Xavier, having made his plan to let friends know. He pointed out the importance of the hour, twilight hour. They all made an effort to be there. So these two set out to the restaurant together. On the ruse, we're going to the restaurant. They were early. Xavier now was trying to slow everything down without giving the game away. He became the best friend of many a tourist, taking many pictures for them, most obliging. And then came the moment. He's got to do it now, or never, whether friends are here or not. He's sure he heard a taxi screech to a halt as he began. Xavier starts telling Kristen how he loves her, how she really completes his life, and how he really wants to spend the rest of his life with her. To the surprise of tourists around him, he drops down on a knee with ring aloft. Their friends spring from hiding on steep, snowy slopes amongst trees, all jumped out, taking pictures and shouting in elation. Everybody was ecstatic. Dinner followed. We cool? Dinner followed, with everybody at the live bar. An awesome night was had. Back to the hotel room, more wine, the singing of their favorite sad songs together, and the reading of freshly written chapters. What a holiday. What a deep connection shared by all. And here we are today.
Kristen, you are my sunrise and my sunset. I love that my days start with you and end with you. I vow to you, always and forever, my honesty, support, and protection. I vow to love you with a depth that knows no end, to hold you close through every dream, every storm, and every calm. You are my heart, my home, my every dream made real. I promise to infinitely nurture our love with kindness, the same kindness that I learned from you. I vow to honor you as the radiant light in my life, and I promise to have patience through the dark times. The darkness always comes, and it's temporary. Here's to a life with you filled with endless adventures, laughter, and full hearts. And I vow all of this to you now and forever. You and I will always be back then. And so you and I will always be best friends.
Thank you.
Get closer.
Xavier.
A little closer.
Xavier, there is nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you. And when I first saw you 8 years ago, I felt like I remembered you. I felt like I remembered you because it felt like our souls had already knew each other. But I never could have known that you would be someone to transform my life and show me a kind of love that I didn't know was real. You're genuinely a good person. You're rare. You inspire me to do good and find the goodness in the world. Easily, my life has blossomed with you in it. And I see how our love ripples out goodness to others too. I know my life is better because you're in it, but I know the entire world is better because you're in it. And throughout our lives, we've both faced really hard things. We both know that life is not often easy. Regardless, you have never let the world harden you or jade you. And I so deeply admire this about you. I vow to always bring softness and gentleness and compassion into your life. Not only because I love you, because I genuinely believe you deserve to be lifted up. There were many times that my family faced really hard challenges, and yet your support in me and in us never faltered. You've been the truest blessing to my life, but I also know that you've been a light to my entire family. Thank you for bringing all of us joy and being the missing piece that we didn't know we were missing. I vow to love you as my husband, as my family, with every honor and will in my bones. Thank you for believing me and teaching me to believe in myself. Thank you for loving me in my every form, for seeing me fully and loving me my entirety. Thank you for being the best cat dad to Totoro and Roki. Our love, our friendship, our story, they are greater than anything I could have ever dreamed of. And the truth is, I really did dream about it. I dreamed about this since I was small. And I have you to thank for proving to the little girl in me that she was lovable all along. If I could go back to her, I would tell her that I know she's faced a lot of darkness, but to just hang in there a little bit longer, because just beyond the shadow is a love like starlight. I could thank you to the stars and back, and I vow to. I vow to love you in this life, and in every breath, and in every heartbeat. And I vow to find you again and again in every life that follows. I love you, and I vow to love you as your wife.
In this place, we take ourselves out of our usual routines of daily living to witness their joining. Kristen, Xavier, marriage is a commitment. There is a vast unknown future stretching out before you. The possibilities and potentials of your married life can only be limited by you. The responsibility is yours. Love is a force more formidable than any other. It cannot be seen or measured, yet it is powerful enough to transform you in a moment and offer you more joy than anything ever could. But although this love joins you together as one, remember the gift of your individuality. Cherish and affirm your differences as you love each other. Be supportive of your strengths and tender towards your weaknesses. Laugh together. Cry together. Be comforted by each other's presence and secure in each other's absences. Dream together and work to make those dreams come true. Love is a union of two hearts and the blending of two families. We come now to the words you both want to hear the most today, the words that confirm your marriage. A marriage is a voluntary commitment. Before you declare your vows to one another, I want to hear you confirm that it is indeed your intention to be married here today. Xavier, Kristen, do you, with your families and friends as witnesses, present yourselves willingly and of your own accord to give yourselves in marriage? If so, say,
We do.
We do.
Xavier, repeat after me. I, Xavier, take you, Kristen,
I, Xavier, take you, Kristen,
to be my wife from this day forward,
to be my wife from this day forward,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in comfort and in times of distress,
in comfort and in times of distress,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live. Amazing. Can't even know this. I don't even know the words.
Kristen, repeat after me. I, Kristen, take you, Xavier,
I, Kristen, take you, Xavier,
to be my husband from this day forward,
to be my husband from this day forward,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for
for
poorer,
richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in comfort and in times of distress,
in comfort and in times of distress,
to love and to cherish
to love and to cherish,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live, and in the next life, no one after.
And now, Jason, time for the ring. You have for each other 2 special rings symbolizing your love for each other. These rings have no beginning and no ending. They represent the never-ending love you share for each other. They are your outward and visible sign of your inward and invisible bonds that already unite your 2 hearts in love and now marriage. Xavier, please take Kristen's ring and place it on her finger. We don't need the microphone for this.
You want it this or that way?
You ready? Xavier, repeat after me. I, Xavier, give you this ring.
I, Xavier, give you this ring
As an eternal symbol of my love and commitment to you.
as an eternal symbol of my love and commitment to you.
And through this ring,
And through this ring,
I accept you as my wife now and for all time.
I accept you as my wife now and for all time.
Kristen, repeat after me. I, Kristen, give you this ring as an eternal symbol of my love and commitment to you. And through this ring, I accept you as my husband now and for all time. And now we're going to do the hand fastening. May this be a commitment made in love, kept in faith, lived in hope and eternally renewed. As you stand before us, it is our hope that you will go through life loving, trusting, and caring for one another completely and forever. Having pledged their fidelity to one another, to love, honor, and cherish one another in the presence of this gathering, and by the authority they have invested in me, it is my deepest honor and greatest delight to pronounce you man and wife. You may seal this promise with a kiss. Family and friends, I'm immensely pleased to present to you the newlyweds with their new surname, Mr. and Mrs. Alexander.